and Nancy, but we're gonna have to read the conflict of interest statement, and I don't have it memorized, but in effect, what it says is, do all of you that I'm about to name, pledge to vote your conscience and not a private interest? I guess we could say that, and that's gonna affect Jeff Barrett, Joey Maddox, Chad Britton, and Jason Roach.
I do.
Let the record show that all have said that they agree with the conflict of interest statement. All right, let's do some commendations and recognitions. First of all, I want to read into the records that you all have in front of you. Okay. Let's do a roll call. I am sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Go ahead and mark yourself present.
Okay, we have 14 members present.
All right, thank you all so much. Now, you have in front of you the balance sheet, summary financial statement, all funds, the Hawkins County Mayor's Office, July 1st, 2022 through March 31st, 2023. So I just want to let the record reflect that you all had received that. All right, commendations and recognition. June is Dairy Month, so we've got some folks, Shay and Emily, you wanna come up front? Let me go ahead and read this proclamation and then we'll give you some time to talk to us, okay, Shay? All right. Whereas dairy farmers have contributed to the development and well-being of Hawkins County since the earliest formation of Tennessee, and whereas the dairy industry is a major industry in Tennessee and a significant contribution to the economy of Tennessee, and whereas milk and dairy foods provide health benefits and valuable nutrients, and whereas real milk and dairy foods are superior to their imitations in quality, values, and taste, and whereas the celebration of National Dairy Month highlighting the dairy industry is occurring this month, June 2023. Now therefore be resolved by me, Mark DeWitt, Mayor of Hawkins County, that June 2023 is designated to the celebration of National Dairy Month, and I call upon all government agencies and the people of Hawkins County to observe the month with appropriate programs and activities. And I signed it, and Jason Roach has a copy to give you all. All right, Shane wants to tell us a little bit about Dairy Month.
Each June marks the national celebration of June Dairy Month. My name is Shay Davis, and I'm with Hawkins County 4-H June Dairy Month Chairman. This month, join my family and the dairy farmers across the city and the nation as we celebrate June Dairy Month. As a fifth generation dairy farmer of Tunnel Dairy Farm in Hawkins County, I know the hard work and dedication it takes to produce high quality milk. I'm passionate about my cows and make sure they don't help together. Tunnel Dairy Farm was established by George Tunnel in 1929. The farm started out with 12 non-registered dairy cows milked by hand and has grown to automated milking and approximately 120 head of registered Holstein cattle. We exhibit our best cattle in 4-H and fairs throughout the southeast, including Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina. All of these shows and here in Tennessee, in Hawkins County, we are always teaching others how their new products get from the farm to the table. I've been able to share my passion with so many in Hawkins County on the radio and newspaper. This month, we were able to give a tour of our farm to local students and teach about dairy products and recipes to adults and young youth groups across Hawkins County. On behalf of Tunnel Family Dairy Farm in Hawkins County 4-H, thank you for declaring June Dairy Month in Hawkins County.
Thank you, Shay. Good job. Emily, would you like to say a few words?
She has it.
Thank you all so much for being here.
You all want to get a picture of the presentation of the proclamation? You take one and do that.
Who's taking pictures?
You ready?
Yeah, I'll let.
She's got it. Y'all stop holding hands up there.
I will add that Shay is also on all of this.
Thank you all so much. Yeah.
And I just wanna thank Emily and Jay for the great week, the 4-H camp. They took, 2 busloads of kids from Hawkins County. The one I sent's already wanting to go back. So thank you, Lila, for showing them such a wonderful time and teaching them everything that you did. We appreciate it.
That's a great program. Thank you all so much. All right, one more recognition. We're gonna go to Commissioner Rhodes.
I don't think they're here, so we'll just need to bump that. We have, the baseball team that's here though. Did somebody agree to recognize the baseball team? Okay.
Okay.
So
Joe,
just switch mine out for that.
Okay.
Jason was part of this baseball team, some of your children.
Let's see, some of my biological kids?
No.
I've got one or two or maybe 3 of my former
Okay.
students back there, yeah.
I'm asking Commissioner Palmer, Commissioner Davis, and Commissioner Rhodes. Come through, bring your team with you. I'll bring them up here, y'all are bringing them
Yeah,
here.
that's fine. Come on.
Okay. Members of the Hawkins County Board Commission and Honorable Martin Witt, Chairman, 26th day of June 2023, commends the 2023 Cherokee baseball team. Whereas the Cherokee baseball team had many accomplishments in their 2023 season. The boys baseball team head coach is Drew Pearson. Assistant coaches are Brandon Collins, Chase Conley, and Adam Godfrey. Whereas the team consists of the following players: Brady Leroy, Tyler Lawson, Keith Lawson, Bryce Elliott, Gavin Housewright, Clay Wagner, Garrett Lawson, Adrian Webb, Ryan Vigil, Noah Hunter, Parker Travis, Mason Emery, Riley Henry, Will Price, Cole Putnam, Jacob Brooks, Gage Atkins, Manny Brooks, Jake Elliott, and Landon Jefferson. Their history-making accomplishments include the Chiefs broke the school record for the wins in a season. The previous record was 19 wins that was set by the 2022 team. The Chiefs won 23 games during the 2023 season. Winter championship of the 2nd annual Buddy Hawk Green Tournament. Twin Lakes District runner-up, the Chief had to win 3 games in less than 24 hours to advance to the regional tournament. Second ever regional tournament appearance in school history. The last regional appearance was in 2015. The Chiefs ended with a 23-14 overall record for their 2023 season. Therefore, let be resolved that Chairman Martin DeWitt and the Hawkins County Board of Commission recognize and congratulate the Cherokee High School boys baseball team for their 2023 outstanding records in the tournaments and regular baseball season.
Yeah, we just brought some of the varsity today. A lot of people on vacation, a lot of younger kids couldn't get here, so we brought majority of the varsity guys here today, missing some seniors, doing some other camps and stuff. But yeah, we try to bring as much as we could here late June. But all these guys have a big part of the year. Obviously, our coaching staff's phenomenal. Couldn't do it without those guys, so we appreciate you guys having us. Thank you all.
A couple of you.
Yeah, we had a few win award. Brady, right here, he's team captain, was all-state guy last year, hit of the year. Cole won hit of the year this year as a junior. Had some, I think we've had like 12 first-team all-conference guys the last 2 years. Had 4 all-state members the last 2 years. We've got a coach of the year award. We've got, multiple awards from the last 2 years. Just trying to change this program, build the baseball program back to where it needs to be, and that's what we've done the last 2 years, and that's what we continue to do.
We appreciate it
Yes,
very
sir.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Make sure, your kids get, I think maybe some of them may be seniors,
Yep.
make sure they get a copy of that, okay?
Yep. Gotcha.
From the Hawkins County Commission, we really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys having us.
We're moving over. They're not that far. My camera kept cutting me off.
Thank you guys, thank you all, thank you all.
Thank you. Good job, guys. Okay, while they make their way back to their seats, are there any other commendations and recognitions? All right, we will move on. Office reports, committee reports. Anybody have anything? Well. All right, then. Yes. Jail certified by the state. Good job as always, Ronnie. Appreciate you. All right. Do I hear a motion for approval of the minutes from last month? We got a motion from John Gibson, second by Josh Gillen. Go ahead and, is there any discussion? Go ahead and vote. Jeff abstains.
13 yes, and abstain.
All right, motion carries. Minutes are approved. State of Tennessee has started a new regulation for all public meetings, that the agenda be posted somewhere 48 hours before the meeting, and that's gonna be on our website. For the agenda for county commission is on hawkinscountyclerk.com, if you wanna find it there. They've also more than suggested, that public comments be given before the meeting. Anyone who wants to make a public comment, I'd ask to sign in. I didn't see anybody sign in, but does anybody want to make a comment before the commission? Wow, okay. We'll move forward. Let's go ahead, into the resolutions, 2023-0601, introduced by Commissioner Barker.
To the Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman, and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commission in regular session met the 26th day of June 2023. Appointment of Larry Quantz and Brittany Buttrey to the Hawkins County Library Board of Trustees for a 3-year term. Whereas the Hawkins County Commission confirms appointments to numerous boards in Hawkins County, and whereas the Library Board has appointed the following people to the Hawkins County Library Board of Trustees in June of 2023 for a 3-year term of office. Mr. Larry Quantz, 149 Riverfront Drive, Rogersville, and Ms. Brittany Buttrey, 1960 Longwood Pikes, Lawrenceville. Therefore be it resolved that the commission confirm the appointment of Larry Quantz and Brittany Buttrey to the Hawkins County Library Board of Trustees with a term ending June 30th, 2026. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
All right, we've got a motion by Nancy Barker, we've got a second by Commissioner Chad Britton. Is there any further discussion on that? Any questions? All right, go ahead and vote.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Thank you all so much. Now, let's move on to 2023-0602, which we had sort of discussed at last month's meeting, but, we're gonna make it official with a resolution introduced by Commissioner Quantz. You didn't know that?
No, I'm sorry, missed that. Whereas in November 2021, the Hawkins County Commission approved $1.5 million on protective gear for the county's fire department and hazmat team using federal American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, COVID stimulus. Whereas as part of the plan, each department and the hazmat team were to receive 8 self-contained breathing apparatus kits, SCBA, along with other gear, and whereas it has been determined that the hazmat team has a greater need for other gear as listed on the attachment to this resolution than the SCBA kits, and whereas the Hawkins County hazmat team has asked the Hawkins County EMA director, the person in charge of obtaining the approved protective gear, if they could apply the funds equivalent to 8 SCBA kits toward the equipment listed on the attached, and whereas John Murnane with Hawkins County Hazmat made a presentation to the Hawkins County Commission at its May meeting, and it was tentatively agreed to approve to apply the funds in the manner requested now. Therefore be it resolved that the full commission officially approves hazmat's request, and the funds for 8 SCBA kits can be applied as Hawkins County hazmat requests. Introduced by Larry Clontz, I so move.
All right, we've got a motion by Commissioner Clontz, we've got a second by Commissioner Britton. Commissioner Maddox, do you have a question?
On the very top up front, allow Hawkins County hazardous waste team, I thought maybe
Hazardous
nothing to
material.
it. It should be hazmat team,
Okay.
Hawkins County Emergency Response Team instead of hazardous waste.
All right, we will make that correction.
Thank you very much.
I had a question, next from Commissioner Barrett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I noticed in the resolution there that it references, 8 SCBA kits, and looking back on the copy of the resolution from 2021, in that resolution, it references a hazmat team, to receive 4 complete sets of turnout gear and 4 sets of masks and air bottles. So, are we combining the
No.
cost of the turnout gear?
That was a typo, it should be 4.
Should be 4.
Yeah, it should be 4.
The math still works out for the type of.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was my fault, that should be 4, I'm gonna make that correction. Yes, there's a few times in there where it says 8, so we'll have to make that 4. Anybody else have any comments or questions on that? All right, hearing none, I'm gonna go ahead and vote, please.
Yes, 1 abstain.
All right, motion carries. Let's move on to 2023-06-03, introduced by Commissioner Robbie Palmer.
To the Honorable Martin DeWitt, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners, regular session met this 26th day of June 2023. Resolution in reference requesting the General Assembly of the State of Tennessee to preserve the fundamental right of Tennesseans to keep and bear arms. Whereas the Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution reads as follows: a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And whereas the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution was incorporated against the states in 2010 by the U.S. Supreme Court in McDonald v. Chicago, 561 U.S. 742, reinforcing an earlier decision in District of Columbia v. Taylor, 554 U.S. 570, 2008, emphasizing the individual right of citizens to keep and bear arms. And whereas self-defense and self-preservation are rights bestowed by God to all people. And whereas so-called red flag laws are repugnant to the United States Constitution, specifically to the Second Amendment, because such laws, 1, potentially deprive law-abiding citizens of their right to self-defense, 2, violate the due process doctrine by potentially depriving a citizen of property and self-defense based on presumptions, accusations, or a prediction of future behavior of a person. And 3, unfairly punish and infringe without a criminal conviction the right of citizens to keep and bear arms. The Tennessee Constitution enshrines the right to bear arms as well and is arguably more protected than the U.S. Constitution. Now therefore be it resolved by the Hawkins County Commission meeting the 26th day of June 2023 as follows. Section 1, that the General Assembly of the State of Tennessee is urged to reject any so-called red flag legislation that 1, infringes on the God-given right of law-abiding Tennesseans to self-defense. 2, violates the due for the educated mentally ill of their ability to do harm, and provide greater adult mental health services appropriate to treat conditions that may lead to violent crime. Section 3, that upon approval and signing of this resolution, a copy be transmitted to the legislators that represent Hawkins County, Tennessee, the Governor of the State of Tennessee, the Speaker of the Tennessee House of Representatives, and the Speaker of the Tennessee Senate. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we've got a motion on the floor from Commissioner Palmer, second from Commissioner Gillum. Do we have any discussion or question? All right, hearing none, let's go ahead and vote.
Yes.
All right, thank you all, the motion carries. All right, let's move on to 2023-0604, introduced by Commissioner Rowe.
To the Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners, the regular session at the 26th day of June 2023, approval of a lease agreement for Canon Image, model number there, plat copy machine at the Hawkins County Register of Deeds office for 36 months. Whereas the Hawkins County Register of Deeds office has leased a plat copier for several years, and the machines are being upgraded to Canon Image Prograph 3100 copier. And whereas said lease is for a 36-month period from Canon Direct to be used for copying and scanning large plats, monthly charges are as follows. For the copier is $354 a month. For the warranty package, which is 2 years plus 9 months, $3,232 total, with 3 months free. Will pay prorated amount per fiscal year. Therefore, be it resolved that the said lease agreements for the Canon Image Prograph 3100 copier and warranty plan be approved. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
All right, we've got a motion on the floor from Commissioner Roach, second from Commissioner Maddox. Any discussion or question? Hearing none, let's go ahead and vote. Commissioner Palmer.
14 yes.
All right, motion carries. Thank you all. Moving on to resolution 2023-0605, introduced by Commissioner Barker.
To the Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners, regular session that was 26th day of June 2023, resolution in reference approval to reassign lease agreements with Hawkins County and Mike Hathaway and Jefferson Cottrell for hangars at the Hawkins County Airport as a swap for the remainder of the said lease ending April 4th, 2024 and April 27th, 2024. Whereas Mr. Hathaway has leased a lease agreement with Hawkins County for a hangar at Hawkins County Airport. The lease is to expire on April 27th, 2024. Whereas Jefferson Cantrell has lease agreements with Hawkins County for a hangar at the Hawkins County Airport. The lease is to expire on April 4th, 2023. Whereas Mr. Hathaway and Mr. Cottrell both want to swap hangars, therefore lease agreement with Hawkins County will have to be reassigned. And whereas the copy of the purchase agreement are attached as well as the new lease agreement. Therefore, be it resolved that the two aforementioned new lease agreements with Hawkins County, Mike Hathaway, with its expiration date of April 4, 2024, and lease agreement with Jefferson Trail with an expiration date of April 27, 2024, be approved. After the expiration of both lease agreements, said hangars will become Hawkins County property. Both men express an interest in leasing them from Hawkins County at that time. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
All right, motion from Commissioner Barker, second from Commissioner Gibson. Are there questions or discussion on this? Hearing none, let's go ahead and vote.
Yes, 1 no.
All right, motion carries. Thank you. Moving to resolution 2023-0606, introduced by Commissioner Alves.
to the Honorable Mark DeWitt, County Mayor, and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commission in regular session met this 26th day of June 2023. Resolutions in reference to amend item number 15 of the Bureau Board bylaws. This for the Bureau Committee bylaws and make them effective immediately upon passage. Minutes are approved, therefore I so move.
All right. Got a motion on the floor from Commissioner Alvis, second Commissioner Gillum. Any questions, any comment? Oh, making this too easy. I know, really. Okay.
Don't get used to it.
Don't get used to it, yeah. Yeah, next month will be a doozy. Okay, let's go ahead and vote.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Now, we're gonna start into a bunch of resolutions on, budget amendments. I was gonna try and group all these together, but that's just not gonna work because there are several that, had a split vote in the budget committee meeting. So we're gonna do them one at a time, do them as quickly as possible. Resolution 2023-0607, introduced by Commissioner Rhodes.
Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman, members of the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners in regular session met this 26th day of June 2023. Resolution reference budget amendment, general fund. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
A motion from Commissioner Roach, second from Commissioner Gibson. Are there any questions or comment? Hearing none, we're gonna go ahead and vote, I believe.
Hold on just a minute, I do need to fix something.
Okay.
I got hung up on what I was doing. Okay, if you guys will look at, page number 5 on that amendment. So Chief Deputy Allen, had requested to move $5,000 to cover overtime pay. And when he figured out how much it was actually gonna cost, it was actually about, $2,000 more than that. So if you'll look, at line item 54210-187, overtime pay, there's an increase there of 5,000, that should read 7,000. And then that will reflect, on line item 54210-160, guards, there'll be a decrease of 7,000 there, so he's moving money from, 160 and placing it in 187. So that was just, miscalculated. He presented it, but then when he got to the meeting, that number had changed. Also on, page number 8, which Eric, I looked at page number 8 in the packet and it's not really lining up with.
Page 8 is new, there wasn't a page 8.
That's right, okay, now I got it. There's a page 8, we added, a section for the senior citizens, and there's actually a blank that's right above where it says 56300-130, and then increased expenditure above that, there's a large blank, it should say senior citizens. They're increasing, 130 by $511, and they're taking that out of 355. They're just moving money within their budget, so it's no new money, they're just, moving within their budget. And it's already went through the budget committee and passed that way, it just hadn't made it into the packet.
And the disaster relief as well.
The disaster relief, yeah, sorry. So the disaster relief, section there, you see there's an increase of 6,000, in line item 790, and a decrease in, 47590 to cover for that. We already approved it, it's just we hadn't allocated the money. We approved the project, we just hadn't allocated the money.
Okay. We can just do one, we can do one amendment. Okay, Commissioner Roach has made a motion to amend this report. Commissioner Gibson has seconded. Now we're going to, there are no questions, we're gonna vote on the amendment, on the amended section. Okay, thank you. Now we're gonna go back and vote on the entire thing as amended. As amended. We have a motion by Commissioner Roach and second by Commissioner Gibson. Any questions, comments on that? Go ahead and vote, please.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Going to resolution 2023-0608, introduced by Commissioner Roach.
Yes.
All right, resolution carries. 2023-0609, introduced by Commissioner Roach.
To the Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners, a regular session met this 26th day of June 2023, resolution of reference budget amendment drug fund. Mr. Chair, I so move.
Got a motion from Commissioner Roach, second by Commissioner Barker. Any questions or comments? All right, hearing none, we're gonna go ahead and vote, please.
Yes.
There you go. All right, 14 yes, motion carries, thank you. 2023-0610, introduced by Commissioner Roach.
To the Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners, a regular session met this 26th day of June 2023, resolution of reference budget amendment, other special revenue, ARPA Fund 128. Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Got a motion from Commissioner Roach, second by Commissioner Barker, even though the screen doesn't really say that. All right, question, from Commissioner Maddox.
Commissioner Roach, on the, 6100/161 secretaries, what does it say?
Hold on, man. Which one are you on?
You're
You're on the wrong one.
You're on the wrong
You're on
one.
the next one. I'm sorry.
This is, yeah, 0610.
This is
We're going
10.
to I'm sorry about that.
Okay, you withdraw your question?
I do.
All right. Okay, any other further discussion or questions on 0610? All right, hearing none, we're gonna go ahead and vote, please.
Yes, 1 no.
All right, resolution passes. Move on to 2023-0611. Again, introduced by Commissioner Roach.
To the Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners, a regular session met this 26th day of June 2023, resolution of reference budget amendment, highway fund. Mr. Chair, I so move.
All right, motion by Commissioner Roach, second Commissioner Barker. Commissioner Maddox, you have the floor.
Okay, sorry about that. Commissioner Roach, on the very first one, the secretaries, what do they make a year? They get 2 secretaries, what do they make a year?
I don't know, because they're not on the pay scale for the county. They have their own pay scale, but,
If I could interject there, Mr. Alvis had asked me to address the full commission on this issue, because there were some questions on this one during the budget committee as well. The question was stated, are those individuals getting a raise at the very end of the budget? And the answer to that is no, they are not. The reason for the overage is there was a crossover in staff, as the old superintendent left and the new one came in, both of the staff members also were going to retire. They agreed to stay on temporarily to help train the new ones. So for a period of time, we had 4 employees, where we would normally have 2. So they stayed on in a limited full-time status to help train the new folks. And Mr. Jones apologized, he wasn't able to be here today, he had a doctor's appointment, so he wasn't able to attend, but he wanted me to touch on that if the questions came up.
So, is the new 2 secretaries over gonna get a $7,000?
No,
They're not?
no.
That's just money that is there due to the overlap where
Okay.
2 changed to 2 changed to 4 to 2.
And the previous road superintendent had budgeted for that, but did not realize that they were gonna stay on as long as they did, so they went over a little bit. So this is just getting those lines back in order, so we don't have any issue with audit come the end of the year.
It's still the same, for the current budget and the amended budget. Okay, fine.
So there's no new money. Commissioner Klum.
I was just wondering, were those, positions posted, advertised, were applications taken, and what were the requirements for the job? And does that department come under any, for those requirements that I just mentioned, by state guideline?
I don't know that anybody in this room would know that would be Dean Jones.
I'm not so sure that, Lowell hired
Lowell.
before he left,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
Those positions were filled back in August or September, so no, nobody here today presently knows the answer to that.
Okay, thank you.
Probably.
any other questions? All right, let's go ahead and vote.
Yes, 1 no.
All right. Resolution carries. 2023-06-12, introduced by Commissioner Rogers.
The Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners, regular session of the 26th day of June 2023. Resolution of reference, budget amendment, General Debt Service Fund 151. Mr. Chair, I'll move.
All right, motion by Commissioner Roach, second Commissioner Gibson. Any questions on this one? All right, seeing none, let's go ahead and vote.
Yes.
All right, resolution carries. 2023-06-13, introduced by Commissioner Roach.
The Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners, regular session met this 26th day of June 2023. Resolution of reference, budget amendment, Education Debt Service Fund, that's 156. Mr. Chair, I'll move.
All right, motion by Commissioner Roach, second Commissioner Barker. Any questions, comments? All right, hearing none, let's go ahead and vote, please.
Yes.
All right, resolution carries. 2023-06-14, introduced by Commissioner Barker.
To the Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commission, regular session at this 26th day of June, make that note up there if it still says May on your copy. Resolution in reference general purpose school fund budget amendment. And also make the correction down in the last line.
Resolution carries, passes. 2023-06-15, introduced by Commissioner Barker.
To the Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commission, regular session at this 26th day of June 2023. Resolution in reference central cafeteria and fund budget amendment. Mr. Chairman, also.
A motion from Commissioner Barker, second Commissioner Gibson. Any questions, comments? All right, hearing none, let's go ahead and vote.
Yes, 1 abstain.
All right, resolution passes. Resolution 2023-06-16, introduced by Commissioner Barker.
And this also has, the May date, so please change that to June and the first line and last line at the end. To the Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commission in regular session at this 28th day of June 2023. Resolution in reference school transportation fund budget amendment.
All right, motion from Commissioner Barker, second from Commissioner Clance. Any questions, comments? Commissioner Barrett?
Thank you, Mark. Question I've got on the next page over up there at the top, it's got a description code number 1. It says the budget insurance recovery funds for bus number 61 and for fuelman card fraud. I wondered if, Mr. Dixon would care to share maybe what steps are being taken to maybe prevent the fuel card
Director
fraud.
Hickson, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you. I did address that with the budget committee and the education committee. We had a card that we believe had a number stolen. And so that card was used across the country, different states for various purchases. We were able to identify that, lock up the card, notified our insurer and notified fuelman, and received a new card, and insurance has paid us back for that, and we're currently going after, our insurance is going after fuelman for that refund because it clearly was abnormal expenditures that should have been caught by them first before billing us those amounts over a period of a month or so.
How much was it?
48,000 plus.
48,726.
Traveling across country, weren't
I don't think it was any of them. They look at those pumps, you guys know how that works when fraudsters put those readers in the key cards and stuff like that, and it could have been something like that, it could have been somebody snooping, trying to get a picture of a card, whether it was in a station or whatever, but, good thing is it was caught and it was stopped, and, we got the insurance money for it.
Does that answer your question, Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
Any further? Any further comments or questions? All right, hearing none, let's go ahead and vote, please.
Yes.
All right, resolution passes. Going on down to 2023-06-17, Notary Public, introduced by Commissioner Gibson. All right, motion from Commissioner Gibson to accept the names as presented, second by Commissioner Palmer. Any questions? All right, let's go ahead and vote.
Oh, we're on 18 now. We're about, they're 18, so they're.
Okay.
Sorry,
Somebody moved and seconded, so go ahead and vote.
It's a move ahead, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was kinda locked down, so. I apologize.
14 yes.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, I move to suspend the rules.
Okay, we got a motion on the floor to suspend the rules from Commissioner Roach. Do we have a second?
Hang on a minute, everybody.
Hang on a minute.
Everybody. Here, everybody's putting your butt there. Okay, and John, are you speaking?
No, motion was Commissioner Roach.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All right.
All right, it was second by Commissioner Palmer. All right, this motion is to suspend the rules for an out-of-order resolution. Any questions or comments?
It's not debatable.
Go ahead and vote.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and suspend the rules for resolution, let's see, this will be 2016-06-01, or 2023-06-01, out of order.
Yes.
Introduced by Commissioner Roach.
To the Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman and members of the Hawkins County Board of Commissioners, in regular session met this 26th day of June 2023. Resolution in reference budget amendment, general capital projects fund. Mr. Chair, I so move.
Motion Commissioner Roach, second Commissioner Palmer.
Mr. Chair, may I explain?
Absolutely.
First, this is one of those projects where we already voted to approve the project. We just did not, we didn't allocate the money officially. So all we're doing now is just moving money around to allocate money for the security annex and for the digital radios that we've already approved. So it's just, we're just cleaning up a little.
Just a bookkeeping thing. Any other questions or comments? Okay, let's go ahead and vote.
Yes.
You jumping into doing that. Anybody wants to see the note, it's right here. Mark.
In years past, we normally kept money for, that fund, right, Commissioner Vaughn? And we would send flowers and then we'd pass the hat and, that way.
And replenish.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Sure. Commissioner Davis has offered to do that, and we'll, y'all thank her later this morning. So are we voting on the journey? All right, go ahead and vote. All right, thank you. Everybody have a good evening. Appreciate your time.